Hey. So I was recently at this amazing alumni event where, as I worked my way around the room, I quickly realized that the talk of the night was career transition. Again, a topic that I'm no stranger to, and I enjoy it. So as each person was telling me, I was getting more and more excited. I said, "This is going to be a good night." And as I spoke to 1, 2, 5 people, I quickly ran into a familiar face. Again, someone I haven't spoken to in years, and I've been meaning to get in touch with. Fortunately, we ran into each other and got to touch base. Now, much unlike everyone else, he seemed the most downtrodden. He had his head down. He was kind of low energy, which is unusual because you came to this networking event. But nonetheless, we got to talking, and he was really stressed out about the fact that he was an accountant. Again, his chosen major, got a job in the field. So he was doing this thing on paper, but he really wanted to be a graphic designer, right? He really wanted to make this huge jump. And the big reason why he was down on himself was because, he knew all the work that it would take to get to that point, right? All the training and classes he'd have to undergo, how much time that would take for him to get to that next level. It created a kind of debilitating anxiety, which, I totally understood. And that story really gave me a lot of context to what he was going through. So, the piece of advice that I gave him, which of course, I'm gonna share with you, is to follow an approach that, again, I've used and continue to use to find success in my career. That really helped me shave off a lot of that anxiety, even anxiety around putting out these videos, which is something I like to call the piecemeal offensive, which is basically not thinking about the finish line, but instead focusing solely on the next step. You see, right now, your great ambition is causing your attention to be divided in many different places and many different phases of where you imagine your journey will take you. Now, we've all been taught that thinking ahead is a good thing, but for some of us, looking through that wide lens can cause a great deal of fear, pressure, and anxiety. I've recently been reading a lot on some of the psychological techniques that successful Navy SEAL recruits use to get through their harsh training, which is on record as the toughest in the world. And one of those techniques is just this. They weigh their focus as well as their personal satisfaction solely on the task that's in front of them, leveraging their inner voice to cheer them on as they get through each and every obstacle. And they do this because they understand that progress breeds confidence. So utilizing the piecemeal offensive, that is focusing your efforts and expectations solely on taking that next step, is a way to hack your biochemistry to reward yourself for moving an inch instead of beating yourself down for not reaching a mile. Now, who knows if my friend will take my advice. I'll have to check in with him and give you guys an update. But if you're ever in a place where you feel overwhelmed by all the expectations set in front of you, I really do recommend you consider utilizing the piecemeal offensive just to retrain your focus on something little, on something that's short term, on something that's actionable, with the goal of getting that accomplished to build up momentum, confidence, and more importantly, progress. The piecemeal offensive.